I am now live streaming. And so we'll get a train to introduce this. Come on, train. Well, there was one. So now you see in studio, there's usually a delay of a few minutes. Come on, train. And, well, a few minutes, a few seconds. Right, so I can see that. And if I went to YouTube to my channel, so I'll go to YouTube. I'll go to, now I click on this icon in the upper right. My channel. And here I am, live streaming. Right, so I can see that. And if I went to YouTube to my channel, so I'll go to YouTube. See, this is where we get all the paradoxes of time. I click on this icon in the upper right, because my channel, the delay creates this loop, and here I am, live streaming. So, right, but it's better not to leave that on. And the bandwidth matters here. Because I'm sending the live stream from OBS, and I'm receiving this this screen here from YouTube. But that's it. You have now learned how to stream in OBS. But of course, there's a bit more to it than that. But really, if you wanted to get going, that's pretty much what you need to know. So, let me explain what's going on, and then we'll look at OBS in more detail and how to do this in more detail. So far, so good? I can sort of... Yes? Yeah. It seems complicated, but it's not. All right. All right. So... I'll show you how not complicated it is. I think this will show here. Yes. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, of course you would do it like that. Sorry about that. So, slideshow, and primary monitor, use presenter view, turn that off. And I'm trying to find where it shows in a window, because it's just easier if I do that. But I have this thing up on top that's from Zoom that's kind of making it hard. Set up slideshow. I always choose, when I'm doing it online, I choose browsed by an individual in a window. And that way it's not full screen, and it gives me options. So now let's try it. That's much better. So you see now, it's in a window. I can move it around if I want. You know, I can size it, resize it. It's in a huge window. Let's make that window a little smaller and more reasonable. There we go. That's better. Oh, not quite. I know, this is... You should have this planned ahead of time, right? But I'm showing you everything here. All right, there we go. So here's my video, right? So you can see on this left-hand side, this is what OBS looks like with real content here. And this is the slides. So here's what's going on. Think about what we're doing now. We're doing live streaming on Zoom, or you can do it on YouTube. Very common. You just click stream live or join a meeting or whatever, and your camera sends your image directly to the application. This is YouTube, this is Zoom, same thing. I know many of you can do that now because I can see your pictures. I can't see all of your pictures, but I can see Randy has turned himself into a dog. That's impressive. Just kidding. But if you turned on your video in Zoom, you could be showing your picture, and hopefully you know that. Oh, Randy has turned himself into a document camera, or maybe a background video, or yeah. So, what's happening? Well, we know what's happening, right? We have a camera. It's feeding a signal into a Zoom application that sends it to Zoom, and everybody can see your smiling face. That's what's happening. Nothing more complicated than that. Oh, I know, there's all kinds of stuff behind the scenes, but for our purposes, it's this simple. Now, as you know, oh, come on. Muting controls. Oh, it's not going to let me do that? How annoying are you, Zoom? As you know, you can select. Oh, I see what's happening. Are you able to see that? You might be able to see that. Are you able to see the drop down at the top of my screen that says select a microphone? Can somebody tell me? No, yeah. That's too bad. Zoom hides it. But, okay, but I thought that might be the case. So, anyhow, on Zoom and on many other applications, you have options to select your camera and select your microphone. This is what mine looks like. Yours will look a little bit different, depending on what you have available. But if you select your microphone button, if you hit the little arrow beside your microphone button, this is on Zoom, so you have it right in front of you. You can even try it. You get this screen. Well, this little window. And you can choose a microphone. So I always choose a nice microphone. There it is. Just for the quality of the sound, but whatever microphone that you have that works, right? There's also a microphone in your web camera, very often, almost always. So you can select that, that's fine. You can also select a speaker, and because I'm doing a backup audio recording on my, so you can see it going there, on my phone, I always do a backup audio recording. It's just good sense. I've selected as a speaker the large screen, right? The speakers in my screen. There it is. So that way I can hear your voices, but more importantly, my phone can hear the voices. Kind of have to be careful. Sometimes you get echo, but Zoom is pretty good about that. Zoom minimizes the echo, but if you're using some other system. The other thing you can do is select a camera, and you might try that right now. Click on the little arrow beside your start video. Again, if you click on start video, you can turn your video on and off if you have a video camera. And I'm not sure how many of you have one. Oh, yeah, there are more people. Yeah. So if you want, you can share your video. Again, if you share your video during a conference, it might affect the bandwidth that you have available. So I've selected on mine just my plain ordinary video camera, which is why you see my face when we're having our Zoom meeting. That'll be important later. So far so good? Sure. We're using Zoom. We're already doing this. So let's move forward. Now, another thing we know about Zoom, because we're doing it right now, is we can share a live screen in Zoom. And this is me sharing the screen right now. You're looking at the screen. And to share the screen in Zoom, see, I'm going to stop sharing, and now I'm not sharing the screen. But to share the screen, there's a little green button right at the bottom in the middle, and you can share the screen. And you can't really see this because I'm selecting the screen to share, but it gives you like a whole bunch of screens that you can share from. So I have 2 screens, like 2 actual physical monitors, so I can choose between screen 1 and screen 2. For you, it might just be screen, right? If you only have 1 screen. If you're using a laptop or a one, if I had 4 screens, some computer gurus have like 4 screens. They have the half dome built. Then they can choose any of the 4 screens. So, sharing the screen. Again, pretty simple. We're doing it right now. In Zoom, the organizer, in this case it's Manisha, has to give you permission to share your screen, and that's a very wise security precaution on the part of Zoom. Otherwise, who knows what people will share? They just drop into your meeting, start sharing things. But that's on the organizer side. I'm just talking about, as a presenter, here I am, I can share my screen. All right, well, that's straightforward. So, also on Zoom, I can share specific windows. You see, right now I'm sharing the screen, so I can show you a bunch of different windows all at once. Just whatever happens to be on my screen. But I can focus on a single window, and you've probably seen people do that. So I'll stop sharing. Now I'm going to share a single window. What will I share? How about the PowerPoint slideshow that we're looking at? So now, you don't see. Oh, sorry about that. I got that wrong. Stop share. I shared the screen again. So let's try that again. Share PowerPoint slideshow. Share. So, isn't that on? Well, it should only show the PowerPoint slideshow. It shouldn't show anything else behind it, but okay. The main point here is you can share a specific application, a window, or you can share the whole screen. And you get the difference between the two, I hope. If you use Windows, you probably know the difference between the two. So that's pretty much the full complexity of OBS is what we're looking at right now. So let's think about how we're going to talk about it. On the one hand, we have the source. The source might be our camera or microphone, or it might be any of the individual windows we have on our computer. Then we have, we've been calling it the screen. OBS calls it the scene. And the scene basically is a screen that you'll be showing. Then there's the digital signal processor, the DSP, which is the application itself. That's the bit that handles the key that we put in. Remember the key that we put in? Or whatever else it needs to do to send the signal from us to the target. The target in this case is Zoom. So I'm sharing my screen with Zoom. But as we'll see, with OBS, we can choose different targets. So, okay. Here's Open Broadcasting System. We have the sources. We have the scenes. We have the DSP. And the DSP, here's the key with Studio, but we can also have a thing called a virtual camera. And then the targets. Might be YouTube, might be Zoom, or I might save it to a local file. Totally your choice. And you can stream to one of these two things at the same time, but you can also stream to something and at the same time be recording. And that's what I'm doing now. So I'm saving a local recording of the video from this presentation. Now, probably just my side, but I'm not sure. Sometimes I hear the other voice, sometimes I don't. And that's it. That is OBS. And you might be thinking, wow, it's got to be a lot more complicated than that. Well, it's a little more complicated than that, but it's not a lot more complicated than that. So, if you've downloaded, installed OBS, you should start it up. And that way you can follow along in OBS, Open Broadcasting Systems, with what I'm showing. But let me stop while people are starting up their OBSs and see if there are any comments or questions to this point.
Alida has a question. And have you ever set up OBS to broadcast a video on your desktop through Zoom?
Yep, I've done it. And it can be done. In fact, I'll show you how to do it. I'm not showing you at this exact moment, but I'll show you how to do it. Any other questions?
All the attendees are welcome. You can unmute yourself and ask a question or raise your hand.
Or both. Oh, there's chats. There's chats in the chat. Oh, okay, and that's okay. That was from Alida. Okay. All right. So let's assume that your Zoom is up and running, or if it's not up and running, let's pretend it's up and running. So I'm going to show you my Zoom. So I'm going to share my screen again. Share. So here I am in the live studio, and I actually have people watching this live broadcast, which is pretty cool. We peaked at 4 people. This is about my average attendance on my live broadcasts, and you know that's fine because it's making a recording on YouTube that I can share with other people later automatically, even if I wasn't saving it myself. YouTube is saving this recording, and people like to watch it later on. And I find that just when I'm trying to do stuff, if I broadcast it live and think aloud as though I have an audience, which may be only 2 or 3 people, it actually helps me learn whatever I'm doing that much more. It's an interesting kind of reflective kind of learning. There's probably a research paper in that somewhere. I don't know if anybody's written on, narrating your process while live streaming your efforts to do something on a application program. But it works for me. Okay, so let's bring Zoom into the screen. Now remember, we're going to get this horrible effect here. So just ignore that part. And in fact, why don't I get rid of that part? Because remember, there are scenes and sources. And so here are my sources down here at the bottom. Here are my scenes. So I've actually got a few already selected, but let's get rid of all of my sources. Can I do that? Sure. Remove video capture device. Yeah, I'm not using it anyways. Remove display capture. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Isn't that easier? Lose audio input capture. Maybe I'll leave that because that's my microphone. Okay, and scenes. Let's get rid of that scene. And let's get rid of the webcam because I'm not using it anyways. Alright, and we'll leave desktop. So here I am, quite literally a blank slate. So let's pick some sources first of all. So in this sources window, can I make this bigger? Not really. Oh, okay, that just popped it out. So that's pretty handy. If I just click on that little window, double window there, I just pop it out, right? So I'll make it bigger for everybody to see. So, and in fact, oh, I can't. Okay, never mind. Silly me. I thought I could reduce the whole window without. Never mind. Okay, so here are my sources. There we go. That's easier to see. Oh, stop that. Sometimes it lets you move things around, and sometimes it takes over what you're doing. There. Okay. Now, so anywhere you see this sources box, usually, like I say, it lives down in this lower left, and that's usually where I leave it. Click the plus, and you can add a new source. Look at that. Audio input capture, that's my microphone. Audio output capture, that's the output from anything my computer is doing. Usually I don't use it. Browser, that's not your actual browser. That's a built-in web browser for OBS. Specifically for OBS. I never use it. Color source, that, you see how my background window is black? I can use color source to turn it a different color. I've used that once. Display capture. So display capture is the display on something. So suppose I wanted to create a new one. I'll click OK. And now it's capturing my display. Or the source. I've made my display a source. I have two choices. Display 1, that's the first screen. Or I could choose my second screen. And my second screen is where I'm actually running Zoom. So look at that, right? Here's all of us, and that's a beautiful scene from the middle of Saskatchewan. So I'll choose that. So now I've made display capture as a source. If I wanted, I could also make my other window another display capture source. So why don't I do that? Display capture 2. Maybe I should name these, right? So this will be my right window, or right screen. And the other one, okay, the other one will be my left screen. So let's edit that. I just double click on it to edit. Properties for, maybe I can't change the name of it. Not a big deal. Let's just remove this. I'm going to right click, remove. Yes, let's get rid of it. Now I'll add a new display capture. I'll call it my left screen. Okay, make source visible. Yes. Okay. Choose my left screen. Okay. So there we go. I've got two sources, my right screen and my left screen. I fiddled around with this a bit, but I just wanted to let you get the feel for it, right? Normally I do this right real fast, right? Display, pick a screen. I don't even name it because I'm lazy. Okay, so that's good. Let's get rid of this. We'll put this back down here where it belongs. All right. So now I have two sources, my screen. Now I want to make a scene. A scene is what we're going to send out. So I'll just call it my screens. Okay, so I'm making a scene. Okay, I'm Stephen Downs, and this is part 2 of my live streaming video on Learning Next. And it'll pop up here in just a second. I need to get the URL for this so I can tweet it. There still doesn't seem to be an easy way to do that, so you'll just have to bear with me for a second. Well, I actually go find video on Learning Next, and another and it will pop up here in just a second. So I need to tweet this now. Get the URL for this so I can tweet it. Don't support the feature. Okay. This is just me testing a live stream. Just testing a live stream. Thank you. This is me done testing a live stream.
Good afternoon. My name is Rick Sleever, and on behalf of Contact North, Contact No, welcome to the Learning and Training Conference 2020. We're pleased to have you join us for this session entitled What's New for MOOCs with Stephen Downs from the National Research Council of Canada. For this session, you'll be in listen mode only. If you need technical assistance, please submit your request under the Tech tab in the bottom left corner of your computer screen.
This is just me testing a live stream. Just testing a live stream. Thank
This is just me testing a live stream. Just testing a live stream. Thank you. This is me done testing a live stream.
Yes, definitely. We sincerely appreciate learning from Mr. Professor Downers. And here is a question posed by Lisa. The audio from the video you played from your computer didn't broadcast, even though it looked like it was playing in the audio mixer. I've used OBS to broadcast videos from the desktop, and you need to use the virtual camera and change the camera mic inputs in Zoom. Need to change the virtual camera and change the camera mic inputs in Zoom. I found it a bit complicated to set up. Steve, Lisa is saying that it's bottom left of OBS screen under controls. So, Professor Downers allied has her comment is, I've read instructions to name virtual cam as a source.
This is just me testing a live stream. Just testing a live stream. Thank you. This is me done testing a live stream.
Thank you so much for sharing, um, going with, step by step with the scenes and sources and live streaming on YouTube and integrating it with OBS. We sincerely appreciate it. Lisa has also posted a handout. That's excellent because it's sharing time. If there are other resources and tips from your experience you can share, that's awesome too. In chat, I've also posted a link about other micro learning sessions. We will be having more micro learning sessions with Professor Downes. And in the past, we have hosted sessions about personal learning because there is so much learner diversity in all types of libraries, whether it's public libraries or academic libraries or in classrooms. So watch out the link which I have posted in the chat for more sessions. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to Professor Downes, Ms. Tahi, Nina Naskamun, Pematasovin, Emikosia, Kina Naskomitin, which in plain screen means I thank the creator for creating you. And if any one of you are interested in sharing and presenting, then please get in touch with me and we can work out a session. Thank you so much. Right now is open, 5 minutes open networking time. So you're welcome to unmute yourself, ask a question or comment. It takes some time to sink in. We have been exposed to so much information and now we just have to play with it. Hi, hi. Hi, hi means thank you. Ego si moistas. In plain script, we do not say bye. We say later. See you again. And that's all for now. Echo si moistas, which means that's it. That's all for now.
Hi, Stephen. It's Kim. Since you seem to use a lot of different software for many of your things that you present, do you have a recommendation for animation as well? Any software for animation that could be, for recording those types of programs? Thank you. Oh no, that's fair, Stephen. I just thought I would ask. It was just a curiosity kills the cat. If you had a recommendation, that would be wonderful. If not, no worries. Thank you, Stephen.